Generation X. In general terms, those born between 1965 and 1980. Latchkey kids. Independent. Existentialism. Modern philosophy focusing on personal experience, human ability, and responsibility in an otherwise meaningless universe. We're the cause. This is the effect. We're the Gen Existentialists. Welcome in, everyone, to another episode of the Gen Existentialists. My name is Scott.
And I'm Bunny.
And we're here to talk to you about all kinds of different things from a Gen X perspective. We will spin Mega Wheel the Magnificent and pull a topic, and I'm going to go ahead and give it a spin right now. And, I don't know, when we record the episodes, we always get into discussions about things in between. And lots of times I'm just holding off just barely from hitting record.
I know.
To start in on
He's going to blackmail me one of these days, folks. Just wait for it.
But we've got our topic, and this fits perfectly with what we were just talking about. Because it's almost, you know, if I could have one wish, it'd be to teach the world to sing, whatever that song was from the old commercials. If one wish of yours could come true, what would it be?
Boy, I'll tell you, there's a thing where when I grew up, whenever you'd see like a fuzzball fly by in the air, which are basically seeds.
A fuzzball?
Yeah, you know, those little seeds that fly around that, you know, are all fuzzy and white.
Yeah.
And they blow through. We used to do this thing where if you caught one, you made a wish onto it and then you let it go and let it fly off.
Right.
And I still do this. 50 years later, I'm still doing this. And most of the times, I just wish for my wife to live a long and healthy life and happy life. So that's usually my main wish. Sorry, spoiled it for you. So if I say it, it won't come true. Then, you know, I hope it does. So that's usually what I wish, is that I wish the people in my life that I really care about just have a happy, healthy, long, fun, productive life.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm going to take the question into a different area, though, just to be different, because I don't want to just echo what you said. If one wish of mine could come true, what would it be? It would be the wish for everyone. And I know I talk a lot about, you know, it's not just they are individuals, but I would wish that everyone would listen more and talk less. That everyone would pay attention even when they're talking to someone, even when they're having a conversation with someone. I think, or it feels this way, that we've got a very antagonistic society. And maybe it's always been that way. It's just more obvious because of social media and things like that. But you can see it in a lot of interviews, in a lot of situations where, quote unquote, leaders, note the sarcasm there, are talking, that the one side that should be actively listening, that person or those people are simply planning their next response. They're not actually paying attention to what's being said and internalizing it and analyzing it. I think you can tell that very much when one person will stop talking and the next side just jumps right in. Because if you talk to me and it's my turn to respond, there should still be a delay there of where I'm digesting what you said.
It's a pregnant pause.
and trying to understand before I just simply respond. I think active listening is very much a lost art, and I think the proof's in the pudding. You look at the way things are in general in the world. There's a whole lot of screaming heads. There's not a whole lot of people listening and actively caring about what's being said. So that's my take.
Spin that wheel.
Yeah, that was kind of a screwy little topic there to start off.
Yeah, I mean,
and we are spinning again.
Wishes change throughout your life. It's fun. When you think about when you were a little kid, what you would have wished for.
A bicycle.
Oh, man. Yeah. All sorts of dumb things.
Well, that's a terrible topic.
Uh-oh, he's doing executive privilege and skipping a topic.
I have veto power.
See, I can't see the wheel, so I don't know what we just lost. It's on the other side of the room.
Well, this is another gratefulness question.
Oh, man, we got a lot of those.
Yeah.
I'd be grateful if we had less grateful questions.
We'll spin yet again.
Here's my wish for the world.
Well, it was the same as a couple that we've already done. It was just phrased a little bit differently. Okay. So.
Yeah, we're both very grateful people, so I'll just give you the long and short.
Okay. This kind of goes along with something we've done before. A perfect birthday celebration. Presents theoretical. Like if you could design right now, not a past birthday, but your birthday, which is coming up.
It's true, in a couple of
6 weeks or so.
Oh, geez, that quick?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So what, right now, money's no object, the perfect bunny birthday present?
The perfect bunny birthday present would be maybe renting a lodge somewhere on a mountain or some remote area, having all my friends and family there, doing just sort of a hangout celebration, maybe fire pit, maybe, just goofing around, having a good time. It'd be nice to play some Dungeons and Dragons or something, where everybody sits around and rolls dice and makes jokes and stuff. It's pretty simple. I don't have any real, I have to see this, or I have to be wined and dined and 69, et cetera, woo-woo. No, those days are behind me. I'm going to be 51. Things don't work the way they used to. No, I'm happy with just spending time with the people I care about. That's really what's in it for me. I'm not a big surprise party guy. I've only had a couple of surprise parties, and they just kind of make me a little uncomfortable and on edge.
Why?
It's the same reason I don't eat anything that's got like hidden food in it. Like, I hate jelly-filled donuts or cream-filled anything because I don't see it before I go into it. I don't want to be bushwhacked by some sort of confection. And I don't
bushwhacked by jam.
I don't want to be bushwhacked by people either.
But you typically know it's there. If you order like a cream-filled donut,
certainly,
it's going to be
there. But
there.
There's always the chance it could be cockroaches or something. So there's always the chance it could be filled with something horrible like mayonnaise or mustard or something that shouldn't be in that donut. So it's...
God, I really want to do that now. Like get a donut and fill it with mustard. Just to put it in the group and just see what happens.
That yellow mustard that just doesn't taste like anything except sourness.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, but for me, it's just hanging out with friends and just having a good time, just chatting and goofing off.
Yeah. I would tend to agree. I don't think there is a perfect birthday present. And especially at our age, I mean, if there's something we want, generally we go get it, or you save up for it and eventually get it. It's like, when you were a kid, you had your allowance and it wasn't enough to go buy the Millennium Falcon. You had to wait until your birthday or Christmas to even consider maybe getting something like that. So,
the funny thing is, we were talking about holidays and presents a while back, and I actually went through my Amazon wish list because I have a public wish list that's just for Christmas, called my incredibly small Christmas list or whatever. And I had to go through and delete like 90% of it because I just bought it for myself last year. So I get it, that whole, well, if you got money and you need something or you want something, you just go out and get it anymore. Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, I think at a certain age you reach that point where you just, holidays are a little bit different. I'm really hoping that this year we can kind of convince my family to just stop. Mm-hmm. No gifts. Let's just get together for dinner on Christmas Eve, enjoy each other's company, and that's it. Not that I don't appreciate any of the gifts that I've ever been given. I appreciate every one of them, the thought that's put into it and all that, but it's one of those things where it's not about that.
Yeah.
Let's just, and same thing for a perfect birthday celebration.
Yeah.
The thing you said, everybody gets together and we play some D&D. That would be awesome.
Nerds. Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
No problem at all with that. Let's give the wheel If I can get it back up here. Give it another spin. I've got the wheel up. And we're giving it a spin.
He's not even 51 yet.
Not even 51. Yeah, consider that you'll be 51.
In 6
months.
weeks, yeah.
5 months. Almost a half a year before me.
I've always been ahead of you. So, I'm light years ahead, baby. I'm going to be in the grave before you know it.
Okay, next topic. Mm-hmm. Do you enjoy being alone, and how do you spend your alone time?
Yeah, actually, I enjoy being alone, and I also enjoy being with people. So I straddle the line of introvert, extrovert. I spend a lot of time.
You're a closet Gemini.
Is that what it is? My mother was a Gemini, so who knows? Yeah, I spend a lot of time alone anyway. I live in a very rural area. I work from home, so sometimes when my wife goes into work in the office, I'm home alone. And before the pandemic, she went in 5 days a week, so I spent a lot of time hanging out by myself at the office. What do I usually do? I used to play video games a lot, but I don't really do that anymore. I've kind of fallen out of love with video games. I spend a lot of time just watching YouTube, sitting on the porch, listening to music. Sometimes I take a walk. Nothing super special. It's not like I'm doing Tom Cruise and, risky business and around the house.
Around.
Yeah, sliding around my underpants or anything. It's all pretty tame and boring, so that's kind of what I do. My eyesight's gotten so lousy lately that I don't really read anymore either. I got to get some new glasses or something. So I used to enjoy just sitting back and reading a book, but haven't done that in about a year, which is weird for me.
I'm in the same boat as far as reading. I've had some recent vision issues that have changed the way things look, and it's not hard. It's just I'm trying to come to grips with how I need to read now, and it's much more taxing. Used to be I could sit down with a book for 5 hours and just read it cover to cover. I'm done, and I literally can't do that anymore. Yeah. I have to take breaks, which is really disturbing because it used to be one of the things I just loved more than anything is reading.
Same here. I've got a huge library at home, and a lot of it I'm just giving away now or throwing away or donating because I can't really enjoy it that much anymore.
Yeah. Oddly, the one thing I resisted for a long time was like digital books, and it's good now because I can increase the font size to
get the large print book collection out.
Exactly.
So what do you do when you're alone?
Well, I enjoy being alone. I think that kind of goes for both of us. We were only children. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot of alone time.
True.
For reading and doing different stuff. So yeah, I enjoy being alone. I also enjoy being with other people. I get overstimulated real easily. Like we were talking earlier, if you take me to an art museum, and I love going to art museums, about an hour and a half, 2 hours, I'm maxed out. I literally can't take any more. I've taken in too much. I need a break. I need to be away from people and stuff. I don't want to see anything. I just want to sit and write or just sit in silence for a little bit. Okay. It's not like I feel bad. I'm just done.
I'm going to veer off on something here with the art museum.
Yeah.
Just recently, my wife and I had our 20th anniversary. And one of the things we did the week we were off was we went to the Cincinnati Art Museum. Yeah. I hadn't been there in ages. Mm-hmm. And I felt kind of weird because the way I can get through an art museum in about an hour because I'm this kind of guy that I just kind of scan everything and I know what I like. So I stop at the things that really catch my attention, and I don't pay a lot of homage, I guess, to things that I don't find attractive or interesting, where I think my wife and other people there are very methodical and they want to look at things and read all about them. And I'm horrible where I'm just kind of like jamming through a section like that's ugly, that's ugly, that's ugly. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'll look at that for a minute. So I scan everything so I don't get overstimulated.
We'll do the same thing. I mean, there are certain eras of paintings that I just have no interest in. Mm-hmm. And I love surrealist art. So I'm usually like, if we go to a museum, that's where I want to find it. Do they have anything from that era, from folks like that? Because that's what I want to see. That's the stuff that really trips my trigger, as it were. But I do the same thing. And I think that's a wonderful thing about art museums is you don't have to read everything. You don't have to look at everything. There's no way you could go through and see everything and really appreciate everything. And there's some stuff that if it doesn't float your boat, walk on by. But even having said that, I'll go and I'll just stare at a painting for 5 minutes.
Sure.
And then I'll read the card and then I'll look at the painting again. And, you know, like I remember it was up in Chicago at the Art Institute. Tracy and I were up there years and years ago. And I'm a big Georgia O'Keeffe fan. And where we were standing, they had Sky Above Clouds 4 there in the big like hallway with the stairs and stuff. But in another section there, I was looking around because I knew they had a couple other of her paintings on display. And one that I really wanted to see was Black Cross, New Mexico, which is basically a black cross with this just vivid orange and red sunset skyline as the backdrop. And I remember turning to my right, and through 2 doorways between rooms, I could see it. And I remember just that moment, how vivid those colors were, that even with the distance between myself and the painting, and I stopped right there, just appreciating that, and then just literally gradually moved closer to it.
Nice. And
probably spent a half hour just
well, that's good.
on that one painting. And, you know, after that, I was done.
Mm-hmm.
I
Sure.
didn't even want to see anything else.
Hey, you know what you like. It's all good.
Yeah. And for the second half of the question here, to finish up, how do you spend your alone time?
Oh, sorry.
Playing guitar, playing bass, sitting in front of the computer and just typing. Sometimes just stream of consciousness just to see what comes out. Sometimes with a notebook. I've got a Remarkable, which is a kind of a digital notebook kind of thing. Just open it up and do it. And sometimes just sit and think and run around my head. You know, alone time is not something to be scared of. It's something to appreciate. And it also, if you start to feel lonely, it helps you appreciate when the people that you love are around again.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, definitely. And
yeah, sorry to veer off on the art museum.
Well, no, I mean, it's a great topic. And I think it's one of those things that it doesn't get talked about enough. I think there's still such a, I don't know, I'd call it a stigma, but you suggest to a lot of people, hey, why don't we go to the art museum? And they immediately go, oh, God, looking at old paintings and blah. It's so much more than old paintings. There's so much more stuff at every art museum. Mm-hmm. It's always, I find it difficult to imagine that anyone couldn't find something or some era or some style that wouldn't speak to them at a museum.
Art museum is a zoo without the smell.
Very, very much, yeah. You know, you may not like the reptile area, but do you like the monkeys? Do you like the eagles? You know, everybody's got some kind of animal that they appreciate and love to see. Should we give one more spin?
Of course.
This will probably be a quick take, hot take topic.
Oh man, did we burn up 20 minutes already?
We're getting close.
Jeez.
So, what is your Achilles heel? I'm not sure that we should answer this on the podcast because then someone will know where to come after us.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think from a physical standpoint, that's silly, but I think maybe mentally or emotionally an Achilles heel.
Yeah, I won't be sharing that publicly. I think people know that I have a number of strengths and I have a number of weaknesses, sure.
Yeah.
I think currently my Achilles heel is my jawline. It sounds dumb, but I have had lots and lots of dental problems ever since I broke my jaw at one point. So if I have a weak point, aim for the jaw. It looks menacing. It looks big and large, but it's apparently glass cannon. You just smash right through it. So yeah. That's my Achilles heel, physical Achilles heel.
Yeah. My physical one would just simply be, you know, I'm a type 1 diabetic. Mm-hmm. If you want to run me down, eventually you'll be able to because I'll have
just throw cookies
glucose.
at him.
I'll have glucose issues, different things like that. If we get into a fight, pull my tubing out of my pocket and cut it or something like that. Because, that'll stop me right there, because literally it's life and death. Something happens to my infusion site, my insulin pump, something like that, I'm pretty much done. Well, that's a nice happy way to bring things to a close here on this episode of the Gen Existentialists. If you would like to get in touch with us and give us some topics, because we've been doing this a while now, and it seems like Mega Wheel the Magnificent is getting somewhat less magnificent.
She's getting tired, baby.
Yeah, in the topics that she's given us. So, Bunny, how can they get in touch with us?
Go ahead and drop us a line at morningpizzaradio@proton.me. That's proton.me. Or drop us a line at the Mixcloud site where you found this. Or, a third option, you can see us on Facebook at the Morning Pizza Facebook page.
Morning Pizza Radio Collective. That'll do it for this time. This has been the Gen Existentialists. My name is Scott.
And I'm Bunny. And don't punch me in the face. Not in the face. Not in the face.
Have a good one.